The secret's out. Doom: The Dark Ages was shown to a bunch of special invitation guests a few weeks ago, and today's the day everyone can finally talk about it. Yes, I was invited. No, I was not able to attend. As a jar of mayo, I'm only able to roll on the ground. But I was sent some new footage. I talked to some people who attended the event, and I got to sit down with game director Hugo Martin for about half an hour to talk about the game a bit. I imagine my more technical questions are a little different from those of other people, so I hope a few things spoken about in this video are new and interesting to you. The first thing I want to confirm, and something that will likely set many people's minds at ease, is that the footage seen in the promotional material was recorded on the Hurt Me Plenty difficulty. If you're new to the series, that's essentially normal mode, meaning the enemy aggression is significantly lower. Fewer enemies are active at any time, which contributes to the whole "this game looks slow" feeling that some people get. Doom games are built on a token system that tells enemies when they can attack, so rest assured that things are going to get a lot more intense on higher difficulties. It's not just about damage values, it's about AI aggression. I think it's safe to assume most, if not all, footage we've seen of the game so far has been recorded on this difficulty, so we should keep that in mind when judging how the action looks. Regarding game speed, two things stand out to me in this footage. The shield bash and how it can be used vertically. I think you can combine it with the ground smash and it has real potential for some great moments of fast gameplay. And we also have the haste power-up. I don't know how it's being activated here, I don't see anything on screen, but you can trigger this thing and run around like a madman. I'm loving Doom Guy's face in the center like the classic games. Bravo on this HUD design. You'll notice that his eyebrows shift around, and check out how he actually turns to the side to indicate where he's taking damage from. At least I think that's what's going on. He even has different pain faces depending on how much damage you take. It's so classic, how can you not love it? We see in the footage an actual glory kill animation, a top-down execution on a pinky that cuts his head off. That's honestly a relief, because I love glory kills. Maybe if we're nice, we can convince them to add more animations post-launch, like NRS does with adding new brutalities to Mortal Kombat. We'll see. In some additional footage we were sent, we also have a from above glory kill on a Mancubus, which is gnarly, and ripping one of their hearts out when it's some kind of challenge that results in an ammo upgrade. So glory kills aren't completely gone. I asked about the Faltering System that's now being presented up front this time, and I got it confirmed that there are different levels of faltering just like Doom Eternal. So it seems there's going to be soft damage falters in contrast to guaranteed hard falters, and maybe even some other layers, who knows, but I'm happy to see these systems are still in place. A lot of combat footage we see takes place in these big open spaces, and I've been concerned that if we have this much space to work with, it could be easy for players to fall into cheesy, boring runaway tactics. And Hugo's answer to this was that they're pulling players in with two methods: limited resources that have to be restacked up close, and the complete elimination of instant powerful long-range options. No ballistas, no Gauss cannons or sniper rifles. All guns are close to medium range, and of course the shield attacks are like that too. But it's not just your weapons and resource management that bring you into the combat. I can also confirm the return of locked-off encounters and wave-based arena fights. The world of the Dark Ages contains many challenge areas, sometimes locking you into a brawl against a bunch of enemies for a reward at the end. The currencies you see in the top right are used for upgrading your character and gear at special stations. And when you see currencies like this, you might think, oh my god, in-game currency equals microtransactions. But no, you will not be able to buy any of these currencies, and they are not used to unlock anything purely cosmetic. The shield parry has been shown off a lot, and, well, not everyone is into games focused on parries. I'm one of those people who isn't. But it really depends on the game. I love the parry mechanic in the RE4 remake, I like parrying in old and new God of War, and I liked it in Space Marine 2. It all depends on how it works into the flow of the game, and how center it is to the experience. Thank God for the parry window slider in case I need to adjust it. I was curious how they're balancing such a powerful ability. Hugo told me that not everything can be parried, and not every enemy has a parryable attack. So that's cool. I'd hate for the best answer to every question to be just parry bro, skibbity. With the parry and the execution moves, there's a lot of slow motion going on, which I think is going to get old after a while, so I'm hoping there's a way to control it in real time or adjust it. From what I've heard in other conversations, I believe that will be the case. We talked a bit about the Doom Eternal philosophy, and I said that I don't think this game is going to be the rejection of Doom Eternal that the haters think it's going to be, because I can clearly see Eternal's DNA all over this, and he agreed. The active resource management is as strong as ever. Shield attacks to regain armor, like the Flame Belch. Parries to recharge your powerful melee strikes, and melee strikes that drop ammo. You can see that the melee attack that gives you ammo slowly recharges over time like Doom Eternal's chainsaw. But landing a parry will skip the charge and go straight to giving you another melee attack. All these systems work together. This is still Doom Eternal, it's just been reborn in another form. Certain enemies have clear weaknesses to certain attacks, a la Doom Eternal's weak point system. Some enemies can be dismembered, which limits their abilities, like Doom Eternal's weak point system. The push you into the fun zone design is still the priority here. It's just a different fun zone. Eternal wanted you to use a variety of guns and mods because that was the fun they designed for that game. And here that's still the case, but the variety-based fun isn't the guns, it's gun plus melee, plus shield bash, plus shield throw, plus parry. All these new options are your arsenal. They are what you use to do combos and creatively express yourself. I think that's cool, mostly because it's a new system to learn, built on the right philosophy, and I look forward to struggling and slowly figuring it out, instead of jumping into something I'm already comfortable with. There's been some controversy over statements of this game oversimplifying things, fewer inputs going on at the same time, no crazy fast weapon swapping, something where high-level play isn't built around how fast you can manage 10 different inputs. And I just don't see it as an issue. If my recent time with the Devil May Cry series has taught me anything, it's that the number of available options doesn't equal depth. It's how you use your options and how they work together. DMC has one attack button, for Christ's sake. That's nothing compared to the 6 different attacks of a Street Fighter game, yet you can still be really creative with the contextual inputs and complementing options around that one attack button. I think my only real worry comes from the set pieces, the Titan and the Dragon. They look cool, they're fleshed out and have boss fights, I think that's great. But it's pretty safe to assume these are going to be wildly impressive on a first or second playthrough, and then they'll lose their charm if we're mastering the game with multiple replays. But I don't think the developers should necessarily sacrifice big impressive moments of their campaigns just for the minority of people who are gonna obsess over Ultra Nightmare. We'll see how it goes. Personally, I'm not worried, but I'm not gonna lie and say I'm jumping up and down screaming in anticipation like I was for Eternal. The Dark Ages has me immensely curious. I just want to feel what it's like to play it and see what it has to offer. I know it's gonna take a real adjustment, but I'm down for that because I think the game is in good hands. Only time will tell. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the lead up to May 15th.